I'm going to arrest you because I can, and you cannot do anything about it.
Now that just ain't right. Huh.
Reasonableness. Something as simple as a person that would be in your situation. And this is actual here in the U.S. It's a legal standard, right? They say objective reasonableness. What would an objective and reasonable officer do? They have a standard, right? And so the idea is that we understand that people make mistakes, but everything's within reason. Interaction with the public, with inmates, with anyone precipitates, right? It goes from one thing to another. Most times it's de-escalated. Maybe some type of warning is issued, a citation, but the demeanor of the officer, of whoever the government official or security officer is, there's an expectation that that person is objectively reasonable when they perform their acts, because there's legal standard that's connected to how that person interacts with the public, with customers, with inmates. So when we look at this, we have to understand that the legal standard is there. And in most instances around the world, everybody's judged by what someone who's objectively reasonable, somebody that has common sense, somebody that is doing the right thing. I can remember from when I grew up through the years and as a young teenager, some of the police officers in my community that I looked up to that were above reproach, had great values. They believed in a higher being. They're very religious and they're very objectively reasonable about things. They weren't always trying to get a quota. They were always trying to go after people. They treated community members as community members, and they served and protect. So this standard still exists. People do expect that you, in the performance of your work, are objectively reasonable, that you use discretion, that you're not overzealous, that you're not, acting in a way where you're overly aggressive, that you don't jump to conclusions, or you don't provide options and understand and gather more information before you make a decision. Arrests are necessary. In most instances, somebody committed crime, the law dictates that some type of act, an arrest has to take place. Inmates that misbehave and are acting outside of policy and being aggressive, well, then they have to be restrained and moved on to some type of segregated unit or somewhere to be investigated and to figure out what due process rights they have to go through when they're in custody. It's all the same, but the expectation of the official, the security official, the law enforcement officer, the correction officer, is that they're objectively reasonable. And everybody in the public, they use that standard whether they understand it's written or not. When it comes to going to court and going through any type of legal process, people are going to have that in the back of their mind of what they think an objectively reasonable officer would do.